Sige, let's start with Scrum Project Management. Oh, so scan lang natin yung magiging topics natin. Ano bang difference ng Agile and yung traditional PM or Project Management? And then we're gonna dive deeper doon by giving you an overview of Scrum and the principles. And then ano ba yung mga roles ng mga Scrum team? Ano ba yung artifacts and ceremonies? And then we're gonna simulate. So this is gonna be, you know, really a workshop. Okay, so let's jump to the main topic natin. Ano ba yung core differences at saka yung approach ng Agile versus yung traditional project management? Okay, yung traditional project management, usually ang tawag natin doon yung waterfall. Okay. So actually, yun yung parang inherent nature natin when we do the planning. It's really a waterfall approach. We decide and we define the project scope from top to finish. No, usually, it's a linear step-by-step model. No? So you define everything, yung scope, yung timeline, and project. So basically, it works well for predictable and repeatable projects. No? Yung mga sample projects na traditional way of ini-implement itong methodology nito is mga construction companies. No? So doon talaga start to finish kasi hindi ka pwede magkamali doon eh. Kung di pagkakamali mo, pwede bumagsak yung building o yung mga bridges. No? At that time, during the start of Industrial Revolution, is talagang waterfall approach ang ginagawa. No? So in contrast, yung Agile naman, or project management, ito yung parang iterative. So meaning, we really don't have to define the nitty-gritty from start to finish, but we collaborate as a team, and then kung ano yung nakikita natin at that time, yun muna ang pinaplano natin, and we will focus first on those scope of work on the premise that there's gonna be some changes after the initial scope of work definition. Again, instead of rigid planning, which is the waterfall approach, it focuses on adaptability. Narinig ko kanina yung term na pag-adapt, no? Adaptation, tama ba? And yung team autonomy, so meaning it nagmamanage siya by itself, no? Nagmamanage yung team by itself. And yung frequent feedback. Okay, yung frequent check-ins and whatnot. So okay, in summary, so ito yung mga aspects: planning, delivery, scope, risk, and roles. No? So sa traditional planning, upfront and fixed nga siya. And then Agile naman, iterative and evolving. When you say evolving, yung scope, yung budget, and also the timeline. Yung delivery naman, usually, pag natapos yung project, tsaka siya siniship, tsaka siya dinideliver. Yun namang Agile is frequent, ang tawag doon sprint, I'll discuss it later. Instead of delivering the product at the end, is gonna be iterative increments. No? And then yung scope naman, nilalock na siya early, and then flexible naman siya based on feedback. Okay? And then yung risk, kasi pag traditional, kasi since ang nature niya is in the end na siya dinideliver, so ibig sabihin yung mga risk, pag na-deliver na in the end, ang dami palang mga issues. No? So na-detect ng late yung mga issues. No? And then yung Agile naman, since iterative and frequent feedback, continuously na ma-manage yung mga risk. All naman, hierarchical. As you may know, may project manager, may team leader, may systems analyst, may team member, may developer, and whatnot. But pagdating sa Agile, it's cross-functional and empowered. So meaning, decentralized yung decision making. Talking about mind shift. So hindi lang sa atin, but also maybe later on we will consider, changing some clauses in your templates sa contract pagdating sa management and delivery of the scope of your work. Kasi ang mind shift natin dito is from control, kasi kino-control yung project based on the upper, management, but this one is, again, decentralized and collaborative. Usually, ang Agile team small, cross-functional, and like I said, self-managing. And then, sa risk management naman, reactive siya. yung traditional is reactive, this one is proactive. Okay? So, yung kasi sa traditional, na-discover lang na late kasi nga yung delivery is late. But yung sa agile, since lagi tayo nag-deliver, lagi tayo nagpa-planning, may feedback loops and whatnot, then yung risk natin mas bumababa. Sa stakeholder involvement naman, we're talking about the customers, the management, and the team. Traditionally, clients are mostly involved at the beginning lang, at the end, in the end. So, sabihin, during the signing of contract, kick-off, tapos dadali natin sa office, i-develop natin, whatever that is, and then in the end, i-deliver sa kanila. So, ang involvement ng client, again, is only in the beginning and in the end of the project. But this one, in Agile, they're also part of the process. Your customers are giving inputs then on every sprint, which we're gonna discuss later, and this leads to higher alignment and satisfaction ng client natin. Baka iniisip ng iba is Scrum is only limited to software development and IT projects. But to me, even me personally, ini-implement namin to amongst sa team namin internally and other teams, is also applicable to any department. So let's proceed with the Scrum and Agile principles. Okay. So I'll discuss the basic principles of Scrum. Ano ba yung mga roles ng bawat isa sa isang Scrum team? Narinig natin meron tayong Agile, tapos meron ding Scrum. Okay? Ano ba ang difference ng dalawa? Yung Agile method is actually yung pinakang foundation nun eh. Kung yung Scrum is one of the brands ng Agile Manifesto. Doon, merong extreme programming, merong Kanban system, etc. Yun yung iba-ibang brands, no? But we find Scrum as the most effective, even me personally, no? So again, Scrum is one way to implement Agile, but all Agile practices are rooted in these 4 core values ng Agile, no? So we value individual in interaction. Sabi nga natin kanina, yun, maraming loss in translation, mga miscommunication. But this one, we are prioritizing yung communication over processes and tools. So, importante talaga yun, communication. And then, we value working product. Commonly, yung traditional way of doing things, magbibigay ka ng blueprint, documentation, etc. No? But this one, we value yung practical delivery of the tangible product. No? And then, the third is customer collaboration versus contract negotiation. Sabi ko nga kanina, medyo tricky din ito eh. Kasi yun din ang nakasanayan ng karamihan. But I think I see it in the market na din na a lot of companies are also adapting yung Agile. Kasi nga, yung nature ng waterfall, yun yung traditional natin na may contract, scope of work, merong rigid na timeline, and then may rigid na budget, which is sa government talagang napaka-strict nun eh. Diba? But a lot of private companies is already adapting yung yung parang flexible din yung kontrata. And then fourth is we value responding to change versus following a plan. The problema kasi natin is that ang mindset natin is traditional, pero yung totoong nangyayari is babago-bago. No? So medyo meron friction talaga yan eh. So dapat yung mindset talaga natin is, or yung project methodology natin is embracing the changes than rigid plan. So diving deeper into Scrum, actually this was created by these two people, Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schwaber, back in the 90s pa. No? If you want to dive deeper there, just go to scrum.org. No? It's actually a lightweight framework built around, yun nga, sabi ko, short focused iterations called sprints. No? Ang sprint, parang, alam niyo naman yung sa takbo, di ba? May marathon, may sprint. Yung marathon, yun yung 40-kilometer run, mahaba, matagal. Yung sprint naman, it can be 100 meters, can be 200 meters, and whatnot. So, yung, kumbaga, yung ibang ginagawang pacing sa marathon, mag-i-sprint sila ng 100 meters, tapos maglalakad, tapos mag-i-sprint ulit ng 100 meters. No? Parang ganun din yon. Meron tayong project A to Z ang gagawin, i-sprint natin yung muna, we focus on A and B. That's an agreed sprint scope. No? Then pag natapos yung A and B, Possibly, mayroong hindi natapos doon, makikarry forward yun sa CND. Okay? And then CND, yun naman ang i-sprint natin. So, meron tayong full picture, but not necessarily super detailed. No? Kasi nga, we are embracing change. We cannot, to be honest, lalo na sa IT, there's no such thing as kita mo lahat in one sitting. You can define the scope of work in detail. Kasi laging may may feedback. No? O yung sabi ko nga, merong misalignment ng expectations. Alright, so to visualize it, para siyang ganito, no? Meron siyang, technically it's called product backlog. It's actually synonymous to project scope, yung scope of work. Kasi pag product, we're talking about software or hardware, etc. But it can also be a scope. Okay? One scope siguro kanina doon sa sales is that yung actual pag-draft ng quotation or ng contract, yun yung activity yung kailangan mong gawin. So per contract, baka may mga section pa doon, section 1, section 2, section 3. Those can be treated as product backlogs. Okay. Sa side naman ng logistics, okay, project A, project B, project C. Project A, may kailangan i-deliver na ganitong items, item A to B. Ito namang project B, items C, D to F. Those are, we call product backlogs. Yung mga scope na kailangan natin gawin o kailangan natin i-deliver. And then, pag na-identify na yon, which is usually yung nasa kontrata di ba? Gagawa ka ng sprint planning. Magpa-plan kayo, ang tawag doon is sprint. Based on this, kailangan gawin from A to Z, ano yung ipaprioritize natin for this sprint. A sprint can be, usually during the 90s, is always 4-week sprint. Anong kailangan natin gawin this month? Alright? Based on this number of things that we have to do. Regardless of the client yan. Kasi nga, ang dami nating client Okay? Ang daming gagawin per client. So for this month, anong mga items per client ang kailangan natin i-prioritize this month? Okay? Yun yung traditional way. Pero ngayon, open na tayo sa minimum of 1 week, maximum of 3 weeks na sprint. Yun yung usual. Depende yan sa dami ng client. Depende rin yan, depende sa how critical the projects are. It can be, pwedeng itong sales team every week, yung product development, pwedeng every 3 weeks ang sprint. It can vary, you can decide or you can test kung ano yung duration ng sprint natin. So sa planning, again, pipili kayo dito, ano yung gagawin nyo for the sprint, ano yung sprint goal. Okay? So kung meron tayong 100 items doon, combined with so many clients, ano lang yung gagawin natin na activities doon for this sprint in the next 2 weeks. Sabihin natin 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, focus tayo dyan. Okay? And now, mag-i-start na yung sprint. Right? So, start ng sprint, day 1. So, ginagawa na niya yung mga assignments niyan. Then, may tinatawag na daily scrum. Okay? Tawag doon, yung ibang tawag doon, daily huddle, daily check-ins, etc. Madaming term ngayon diba? Or stand-up meeting. Ang sinasabi nila, maganda daw, literally nakatayo lang. Kasi pang mabilisan lang yun, 10 to 15 minutes. And then, so on a daily basis, kung 2 weeks yan, roughly mga 10 to 12 days or working days. Now, at the end of the sprint, may tinatawag na sprint review. Okay? So, based sa mga pinag-agrihan natin, nakafocus na gagawin natin for this first 2 weeks, i-reviewin ngayon. Actually, usually presentation yun. Ito yung natapos ko, 1, 2, 3, ng bawat team member. Then, yung mga stakeholders, re-reviewin kung okay, ano bang feedback, etc. And then, after that, can be, ideally, 100% ng dinefine mo dito sa sprint planning, natapos dito sa sprint review. Pero usually, hindi nangyayari yun. Lagi kang may feedback, may mali, or may kailangan ayusin. Okay. Now, after the review, may tinatawag na sprint retrospective. Retrospective is meaning, ano ba yung mga nangyaring magaganda during the first 2 weeks na sprint? Ano ba yung mga maling ginawa natin and how can we make sure na magiging okay tayo sa susunod na sprint. Okay? Ang tinuturo natin dito, make it a consistent habit na meron kayong retrospective of what happened in that particular sprint. Ano? And then after that would be another sprint planning. So, kung nag-start tayo ng kunyari June for week 1, week 2, tapos yung week 1, week 2 na sprint, yung susunod na sprint planning naman is for the week 3 and 4. And again, according to sa mga backlogs, mga kailangan tapusin here, and yung mga na-carry over ng mga tasks dito na hindi natapos. Alright, let's talk about Scrum roles. Sabi natin kanina, ang difference ng traditional and Scrum is that hierarchical kasi yung traditional. Merong project manager, may owner, may systems analyst, may project manager, etc. But this one, ang pinopromote natin dito kasi is parang equal in collaboration eh. Okay? It starts with the product or project owner. It can be the customer. Alright? Kasi pag especially if it's an external transaction, it can be stakeholder or owner of the company. Okay? Lalo na kung product development. Okay? But basically, the product or project owner, siya yung may hawak nung ano ba yung kailangan gawin. Okay? Ano ba yung product or project backlogs. Right? Scrum Master naman, siya yung nagpa-facilitate ng process. Yung tinuturo ko ngayon na sprint planning, daily scrum, etc. Siya yung nagpa-facilitate nun. Siya rin na nagpo-protect sa mga team members kung, kasi halimbawa, may na-assign na task sa'yo for this sprint. Okay? And then may mga sumisingit na task dito sa team member na to dahil na-overlook natin, di ba? So si Scrum Master, siya ang magsasabi kung gagawin niya ba yung sumingit na yon or ipoprotect niya yung current na task na nasa sprint. Does it make sense? Kasi yun ang issue natin minsan eh. Di ba? Inassignan tayo ng task. Ito yung alam kong gagawin ko this week or this sprint. Din biglang may papasok ng mga new tasks. Anong gagawin ko dito? Ang dami ko pang ginagawa. Di ba? So the Scrum Master should be the one controlling that. Na wag mo munang gawin yan, team member, mag-focus ka muna dito. Parang gano'n. So, siya na ngayon na magmamanage yan sa stakeholders kung gaano ka-critical. It can be a decision of mas priority yung mga sumisingit na task. Nasabi niya sa team member, o i-backlog mo ulit yan. Mas priority natin to kasi mas critical to. So, si Scrum Master ang gumagawa nun. And then, of course, the team members should be the team members, regardless, no? Sa isang Scrum team, pwedeng dual role. They can be a Scrum Master, they can also be team members. And vice versa. We can be a product owner, she can also be a team member. Okay. So let's dive naman sa ceremonies. I think medyo nasabi ko na rin kanina yan. So sprint planning is defining the sprint goals and backlog items. Again, meron tayong projects, ang daming kailangan gawin doon, A to Z. Mag-agree tayo a 2-week sprint. Ano pa ngayon? 17. So, May 19 to May 30, ito yung dami ng gagawin natin. Ito yung gagawin lang natin. From 1 to 10, 1 to 3 lang. Ito lang yung magfo-focus lang tayo from May 19 to May 30 dito sa task na to. Okay? Ayan yung sprint planning. It's actually a collaboration. Si product owner ang magsasabi ano yung priority, then Scrum Master mag-a-assign dun sa mga tao. Kung sino yung magagawa nung per item na yon. Then after that, daily Scrum, like I said, it can be, depende sa, depende rin sa hormones natin. Gusto natin sa umaga, 8 to 9 a.m. Pwede rin naman at the end of the day yung Scrum. Again, it's a quick team synchronization. Yung iba natitempt na, o sa chat na lang, kasi hindi siya available, nasa client siya, magchat-chat lang siya ng parang asynchronous. Kasi practically speaking, we cannot be, o lalo na kung nasa field tayo, pupunta pa ako dyan para mag-stand-up meeting, di ba? I mean, we can implement that asynchronous way, which is a check-in lang sa chat, which is ano ba yung roadblock, no? And then after that, after the May 30 na, o May 30 na, sprint review na tayo, demo muna sa akin kung anong natapos mo, whatever that is, and then we give feedback to the stakeholder, which is the product owner. Si product owner, siya ngayon magsasabi kung okay na ba yan o hindi. And then we have to define ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng okay na. In definition of done, yung tawag DOD. Later on again. And then retrospective is to reflect and improve the process. Ano ba yung maling ginawa ko ngayon? Ano ba yung dapat nating ayusin in the next sprint? Which is June 1 to June 15 naman. Okay. Alright, Scrum artifacts. Yung product or project backlog, these are all desired features, tasks, and what have you. Yun yung nasa backlog. Ang product or project backlog. Yun namang sprint backlog, ito yung napag-agrihan natin ng mga kailangan gawin for this sprint. Okay? Or actually, pwede mo tawagin na sprint na lang eh. Ito yung mga task this sprint. Okay? And then yung increment, it is the working output of a sprint. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga natapos, yun yung increment. Okay? Bigyan ako ng parang mas practical example. Let's go back dun sa sales. No? Sa sales, sabi natin, i-analyze natin yung requirement ng client, di ba? Meron silang request for quotation. So, based on the request for quotation, anong mga activities ang kailangan natin gawin? Give me some. Canvas. You have to canvas. That can be one project backlog. Canvassing. And then after that, the actual preparation of quotation. Diba? And then susunod na approved quotation. So that's, gano'n na lang muna. 3. Simplified. So yun yung 3 project backlog. Yung ang project nila is the drafting and sending of quotation. Kasi as a sales people, yun yung kanilang activity to send quotation. Diba? Pero it's not really the project kasi hindi pa naman project yun. Task pa lang yun. And sa dami ng ginagawang quotation, they have to manage it. Diba? You have to manage it kung nasa na ba. Kasi minsan, nadadrop din yung bola dyan pag dami. Diba? Nagpa-follow up yung client, nasa na yung quotation? Eh, kasi ginagawa ko pa isang quotation. So you have to really define, dapat you have to manage yung inputs, which is yung mga request for quotations. Another input is yung quotation ng supplier. That's another input. Iba na naman sa project, mismong project. Sa mismong project, talaga, ang dami na nun. Project, it says na within 30 days, kailangan i-deliver mo tong 100 units within 30 days. So kung within 30 days, mag-sprint planning ka ngayon. Ang first increment mo is yung first 50 lang muna, yung week, yung sprint 1. So, pag ginawa mo ng sprint planning mo, yun nga, yung paano ko i-deliver yung first 50 muna. Okay, kasi nga, medyo limited yung stocks, di ba? And then, the following week, the following sprint pala, after 2 weeks, 40 lang ang na-deliver mo kasi kinulang ng magpa-planning ka ngayon, paano mo ma-deliver yung kulang mo na, yung backlog mo nung unang sprint, and then the rest of the project. Alright? So that's, nakuha niyo yung mindset shift pagdating sa sprint planning. Parang ganon. Alright, so yung pinakang core ng Scrum is yung meron tayong empirical process control. Hindi sabi niyan parang sinanin mo siya sa transparency. So everyone sees the truth. Kasi daily, on a daily basis, meron kayong check-ins eh. Ano ba yung roadblocks ko? May transparency. Ano ba yung natapos ko? Diba? As a team. Okay? And then merong inspection. Yun yung regular reviews, check-ins, tsaka sprint review. And then based on the findings nung inspection na yon, doon tayo magkakaroon ng adjustments. Ano ba yung learning? Ano yung adjustments natin sa susunod? Okay. Part of it, actually, kung titignan mo, yung mga pain points natin ngayon, isama nyo sa retrospective yun eh. Paano natin may improve itong na lagi na lang kulang yung na fulfill natin na delivery. This is part of the, and then, every retrospective, nag-i-evolve kayo ngayon as a team. Nag-mutate kayo as a team. Because nag-i-improve siya lagi. So, yun yung core of Scrum. Alright, so, let's understand further yung Scrum roles. No? Sabi nga natin, this is a team sport. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan lang clear kung ano yung role ng bawat isa. Para walang confusion, walang finger pointing. Kasi pag everyone knows their purpose, then the team moves faster. No? Sabi natin, identify natin ang project or product owner when it comes to the delivery sa customer is the sales team, private sector man or sa public. Okay. Now, pagdating sa each one's department, yun, we have to identify sino yung product owner. Kasi, ano yan eh, dapat align din yan sa org chart din natin, yung accountability. Actually, ang term ng iba dyan, accountability. No, instead of role, it's an accountability. Okay. Alright, so medyo na-discuss na natin, parang refresher lang. Ito yung Scrum team. As product owner manages the product backlogs, deliverables basically. And then the Scrum Master, siya yung nag-re-remove ng mga bottlenecks, impediments, etc. Siya yung nagpo-protect dun sa team ko, ano yung i-assign sa kanila, at the same time, ano yung hindi dapat i-assign sa kanila. And then the team, or the development team. Pag sinabi development, not necessarily, we're not talking about programmers here, no? Or so, people or na member of the team. Parang gano'n. So it should be managing in itself, no? Pag may mga natapos siya, yun yung i-declare niyang natatapos niya on a daily scrum. Yung mga hindi natapos, ano bang roadblock na hindi natatapos? So, diving deeper sa product or project owner, si project owner siya yung, which is na-identify natin si sales, siya yung nagde-define, nagko-communicate ng goal. Siya rin yung nagpa-prioritize ano yung mga ipa-priority ng mga tasks and activities for the sprint during sprint planning. And of course, since sales is also protecting yung profitability ng project, I assume, so siya rin yung yung nagma-maximize ng value, nagpo-protect nga ng cost, ano, para mas profitable yung project. Siya rin yung interface between the customer, of course, sila yung frontliner, and the internal team natin. Okay. So, Scrum Master naman, ini-ensure niya na yung process ng Scrum is followed. Operations Manager, no? He or she can be the Scrum Master. At siya rin yung nagpa-facilitate at saka nagko-coach dun sa mga team members. And then, siya rin nagre-remove ng obstacle. Pag may mga, nabanggit ko nga kanina, meron ng task na ginagawa, tapos may sumingit na task, the Scrum Master should be able to protect or tell the team member kung dapat niyang ituloy yung ginagawa niya, i-assign ba yung iba dun sa isang team member, or kailangan niya ba mag-overtime kung may overtime, something like that. So, instead of ang thinking natin siya yung boss, the Scrum Master is a servant leader. No? Hindi siya yung manager. Siya yung nagme-make sure that the process is executed based on the philosophy ng Scrum methodology. So, team members naman, of course, sila yung basically gumagawa ng all legwork. Self-organizing din siya because of the daily stand-up. Each of the team member, pag may mga roadblock kasi, during the... Ang important doon yung roadblock eh. Usually, na-encounter natin na yung roadblock na di-discuss pagka nasa dulo na. Pag i-deliver na. Di ba? Kaya kagandahan ng Scrum methodology na may daily check-ins kayo, dapat doon pa lang, before doon sa target date na dapat ma-deliver, yung increment. Sinasabi na niya na may roadblock. Diba? Kasi it doesn't make sense na sabihin mo siya sa dulo. Eh, yun na yung araw ng delivery. Diba? So, self-organizing siya kasi yung design nga ng team member dapat. Sinasabi niya yun eh. It's part of the accountability. And then commitment. During sprint planning, ang important term dun is commitment. Within the next 2 weeks, each of the team member will commit. Sige, iti-take ko itong ina-assign mo sa akin and I will commit to this na tatapusin ko. If not, okay, pag sinabi niyang hindi ito kaya ng 2 weeks, kasi 2 weeks ang sprint natin eh, what would you do? Okay, kung sino mo kaya ng 2 weeks, you have to justify bakit, and then kung talagang na-justify mo na hindi kaya ng 2 weeks yan, i-split mo siya into 2. I-break mo siya based on the sprint. And then you agree as a team na justifiable na i-break yan kasi mabigat talaga yan. Diba? So, important part of it is kinumit na niya. Once na binrake na niya yan, and nag-agree na siya na itong one part of the pag-break niya is deliverable in 2 weeks or within that sprint, it's a commitment. Ang kagandahan actually ng sprint planning is that mas madaling mag-measure ng performance ng bawat isa. Kasi at the end of the sprint, nakalagay lang doon, natapos mo ba yung commitment mo or hindi? Di ba? 1 or 0 lang yun eh. Natapos mo pa or hindi. Kasi commitment mo yun. So kung meron tayong KPIs, KPIs is not necessarily kasi yung iba ang thinking ng KPI is minomonitor ako sa person. It's actually more on for yourself kung nagpe-perform din ba ako or hindi. Diba? Kung out of 10 sprints, 8 of them is hindi ako nakaka-deliver ng commitment ko, may problema ako, di ba? Problema ko, hindi rin pala ako masaya sa trabaho, kaya pala hindi nakaka-deliver, para sa rin sa iyo yun eh. Diba? So now, pag naman nakaka-perform ka, that's an objective measurement. Out of 10 sprints, lagi ko natatapos yan. Diba? Meron akong evidence and proof na I am performing. That's a good part also of during performance evaluation, meron tayong objective basis of our performance. Some common misunderstanding. Number 1, PO is the boss of the team. Okay? The reality is they are not. The product owner or project owner only guides priorities, not the people. Ginag-guide niya lang ano yung dapat i-prioritize. Scrum Master naman, siya yung magpapacilitate nung actual sprint planning and daily Scrum and sprint review. But hindi siya yung magkocontrol ng output. Right. Another misconception, yung team members follows orders. Okay? Hindi talaga siya follows orders eh. It's really owning the task. This is my task. During sprint planning, dito task, akin ba yan o hindi? O akin yan. I'm owning it. Diba? Kasi alam ko, yun yung role ko sa job description eh. So the mindset now is not, you're not delegating. It's actually an autonomous team, may autonomy yung mga bawat isa sa atin. Diba? Hindi na dinidictate sa atin ng trabaho. Kinukuha natin siya. Diba? Common challenges, pagdating sa project owner, product owner, may mga cases kasi na multitask, multi-roles din eh. Hindi lang ako sales, ako rin sa admin, ako rin sa procurement. May mga ganon. Yung Scrum Master naman, siya yung taga-check ng task. Okay. Ang taga-check ng task should be during sprint review. When the team members are presenting what were accomplished. Okay, so just to summarize, kasi yung role clarity, magdadrive dito yung delivery, no? Sino ba talaga yung product owner, project owner, which is so far na-identify natin si sales. And then, ang kailangan talaga natin ma-identify sino yung Scrum Master. No? For the general company-wide project delivery and kung sino per department. Okay. So we have to also, that will be part of our action planning. So 3 roles lang yan, product or project owner, Scrum Master, tsaka team member. Okay, let's talk about Scrum artifacts, no? Parang more clarity. Pag sinabi product or project backlog, ang purpose niya is a prioritized list of everything that might be needed to finish the project. Kasi nga, we are embracing dun sa fact na hindi natin siya maiisip lahat in one sitting. No? So, ang owner nyon is yung product owner. No? Ang sprint backlog naman, yung items committed for the current sprint. In the next 2 weeks, ito yung mga from the product backlog, ililipat natin sa commitment natin ngayong sprint. Yun yung nasa sprint backlog. Or like I said, just sprint. No? And then ang owner niyan, yung entire team. And then yung increment would be the finished product or semi-finished products, no? Based on the sprint goal natin. So again, ang owner niyan, yung entire team. Okay. So, diving deeper there, the product or project backlog is the source of truth for everything. Okay? Initially, yan yung nasa scope of work natin sa kontrata. No. So, yun yung concrete items na we need to deliver to the client. Alright? Pero, usually, pwede natin siyang i-break into mas layman na term, no? Ang tawag kasi doon, well, sa side to ng software development kasi, they call it user stories. Or it can be customer stories. Alright? Ito yung mga gusto ko mangyari. Alright? So, sample 1. As a user, I want to log in using Google so I can avoid creating a new account. Diba? So, you gets nyo naman to, diba? as a user, bawa, meron tayong customer sa isang IT project. Gusto ko, hindi na ako maglalagin ng create ng sarili kong account. Using my Google account, yun na yung gagamitin kong pag-login. That's the feature that we need to deliver. That's one product backlog. Okay? Another example, sabi ni customer, sa cybersecurity related project, so as a customer, I want to secure my data from hacks and intrusions. Okay. So that's my story. It can be laid out in a contract as a different sentence. Pero yun yung gusto niya mangyari. Okay? So that's another one example of product backlog. Example 3, as a marketing executive, I want to revamp my website to grow my customers. Sabi niya sa marketing, ang pain point ko, gusto kong mag-increase yung customers natin, gusto kong i-revamp yung website natin so that we can grow the customer. Yun yung kailangan kong gawin. That's a product backlog sa marketing department. Actually, free-flowing naming convention. It can be in the form of a sentence like this. It can be a form of a feature or a form of a directive. Alright, so yun namang sprint backlog, yun naman yung slice of the product backlog. Example na to, enable new users to sign up with Google Sprint Backlog. So sa software development kasi, ang ipibreak mo yan into tasks. Like, hindi yung magiging sprint backlog to achieve this. Alright? Design Google UI, integrate this to API, test and deploy. So that's the sprint backlog. Okay, sa side ng cybersecurity, maybe some of you can relate to this. Sabi ni customer, I want to secure my data from hacks and intrusions. Ang possible break ng task niyan is that first is magra-run ako ng vulnerability and pen testing. Para ma-secure ko siya, ang isang task dito is to run a VAPT. Okay? And then after that, merong result yon, I will propose how to mitigate the findings. And then after that, implement the cybersecurity services. So itong tatlo na to, these are possible sprint backlogs. So ito ngayon yung ilalagay ko sa sprint na i-commit ng tao. Okay? Tatanong mo ngayon, sino ba yung nagmagawa nito sa team? Sino magko-commit dito to do this within the next 2 weeks? And then who's gonna do the proposal? Who's gonna do? So yun yung during planning, ina-identify natin yung mga tasks within the sprint. So website, as a marketing executive, I want to revamp my website. So magiging sprint backlog ko ngayon is first, gagawa ko ng website audit, ano ba yung kailangan ma-improve? And then after that, gagawa na ako ng mock-ups. And then after the mock-ups, pag na-approve, i-develop ko na. So yun yung mga breakdown of tasks from this. So sa atin, kung titignan natin yung kontrata, bawat isa doon may scope of work. During sprint planning, we have to identify ano yung mga breakdown of tasks na kailangan gawin per item doon. Yan ang ilalagay mo sa sprint. The increment, it can be a working version of the product that is halfly baked, working version pero half-baked. Okay? But it must be, usable and potentially shippable. An example is this one. Google Login fully functional. It passes all acceptance criteria, reviewed in sprint review. Sa marketing naman, pwede kasing mangyari is yung sprint 1, ang first increment niya is yung website backup. Yung after that, sprint 2, yung the next 2 weeks, yung first 2 pages lang ang i-ship niya. And then sprint 3, yung last 3 pages na ang i-ship niya. So, ibig sabihin, every sprint planning, kinocommit ng team kung ano yung part of the entire user story ang i-commit natin sa kanya. Yung definition of done is also important. Kasi yung done sa team number 1, team 1, or team member 1, can be a different definition dun sa done nung team member 2. Okay? So we have to define ano ba yung definition ng done. So ideally, pag sinabing done, na-review na yan, na-test, tsaka na-update yung documentation. Yung iba sinasabi, tapos na ako. Na-test na ba? Ay, hindi pa. So hindi ka pa tapos. Diba? So we have to really set ano ba ibig sabihin ng done. Alright, so let's talk about yung stand-up meeting, Again, usually, let's make it as short as possible, if not 15 minutes na stand-up meeting. Kung kaya lang gawin physically, nakatayo, then better. But if not, wala namang problema doon. Ang importante lang doon is that every stand-up meeting is dinidiscuss anong ginawa ko kahapon, anong gagawin ko today, and what's blocking me, what's my roadblock. Ganun lang. Sasabihin ng isa, ano yung ginawa ko kahapon, ano yung gagawin ko today, at saka. Pwede rin yan, kung hapon ng meeting nyo, or close to end of the day, ano naman to, what did I do today, what will I do tomorrow, and what are my possible roadblocks. Siyempre, pag may roadblock, we work as a team kung paano masosolve yung roadblock. We expect the team na to either accept the roadblock, madedelay yung client, sabihin mo kay sales, nako, mga problema to, hindi pa nire-resolve, you have to call the client para ma-preempt sila na may delay tayo. Diba? Something like that. And then we make sure na paano to hindi mauulit. Alright, so sa ceremony, okay, usually, sa ceremony, yung sprint planning is about 2 to 4 hours. It can be every Monday morning, it can be Friday afternoon, it depends kung ano yung mapapag-agreehan ng lahat. Ang attendees doon is all members of the team, and then ang output ng sprint planning is yung goal at saka yung sprint backlog. Okay? And then after that, pag nag-start na yung sprint, 15 minutes, basically yung output yung sync. Okay, pag natapos na yung sprint, which is after 2 weeks or after 3 weeks, 1 to 2 hours na review, sinong attendees doon? Yung product owner, team, stakeholder. It can be the customer or it can be the stakeholder. And then ang output mo noon is feedback on increment. Kung siya yung feedback, shippable ba yan? Deliver na natin. If not, then meron siyang iteration dun sa next sprint. Okay? And then after that, retrospective, isa lang. Every Monday morning, ginagawa na yung review, retrospective planning. Pero yung iba, review can be Friday afternoon, para yung sprint planning is Monday the following. Again, walang tama or maling sagot dyan. It's based on your dynamics kung ano yung best option sa inyo.